Approaches are, that's where the alignment is between Grim and I.
Okay, so what is bringing down the fourth wall project, Grim?
A terrible spell, and part of that spell, the humans have the campfire circuitry. For whatever reason, probably because it. So like, the television engages that, and like that's when your tribal elders are passing on information and stuff. So like those things are hijacked and make everybody feel like they're audience. And like if you watch characters in series that do break the fourth wall, and that's what the fourth wall I'm referencing when I do it. It's the wall behind which you are audience and not a human. So
okay.
Hashtag paintball for Jesus at Grim Grizz. Hashtag break the fourth wall.
So like you do like break the fourth wall that doesn't exist and be like,
break the fourth wall a little bit.
you really helped me break the fourth wall. Like, you know, it's just people.
Good poetry is definitely it's definitely always trying to break the fourth wall.
Always tried, as Grim Grizz says, to break the fourth wall to the degree that I can.
I want you to take special note there, that part where Grail Country said good poetry does it. So you'd like to hear from me before I go?
can I just say I'm really sorry. I called your channel impenetrable.
He loves that. That'll probably be the theme. That'll probably be the theme of his next live stream. He loves it.
When you figure it out for yourself, it's yours. If I tell you, it's mine.
Hi, this is Paul, and I'm...
Stay right here with Grim Grizz on Virtually Not Alone.
Okay, hey, it's the stream. What stream is it? It's Touchbase Thursday. Must be Thursday if we've titled the stream Touchbase Thursday. Oh, Plato Tectonics. What's that on the screen there? That's what the computer bot for the day drew when I told it General Griswold Gaius Grim. One of two, actually. I don't know if I'll show you the other one. Hey, how's everybody doing today?
Remember, Embody, there is no agency
We want
We want what's best. As you can see over there on the top of the hive mind, there's a link if you want to give me money. Hey, Dust to Dust, good to see you. Welcome. Look, it's Danny. Hey, okay, and then in exciting news, I'm sharing with you. Spoiler alert! Immediately. Once upon a time, like Dust from Dust over here, there was these sorting myself out days, and back in those days, I met a guy named Nolan, and that guy named Nolan is just finally released after years. I meet with this guy like once a week. We hang out, we play golf and stuff, and like this thing has been years in the making. I've been bugging him about it forever. It's finally available now on the Amazon. Here's a fancy link to it. I'll put it in the Hive Mind chat if you want to buy it now. We'll do that again later in the show. Congratulations to Nolan for finally jumping through all the hoops to get a Through the Fire Pilgrimage of Poetry book out and published and into people's hands. Let's see if you want to be adventurous and explorative, I think there's a video called Frames still on that channel, if it's still up. I haven't looked in a while. That has me and Nolan in it. Now, there's also saving throws versus mind control you got to do. Yeah. Those are coming up after some more brandings. Good. We like those. This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. Absolutely, Doc. We like to make sure everybody gets all the branding they need. It's good for a healthy diet. And against that branding, you get the saving throws against the mind control. And you know how that goes. But let me tell you about this stream I'm giving you savings throws against. First of all, the card looks like this. All right? That's what the card for this stream looks like. It's going to be fun. This is the Touchbase Thursday Play-Doh Tectonic stream, isn't it? Yes, show the thing. It's way up here. Okay. But at the very end of this stream, I will give you something so valuable that it'll make the entire preceding stream and submitting yourself to the branding, even if you fail the mind controls, completely worthwhile. That's my teaser. Not only are you getting Play-Doh Tectonics and the Touchbase Thursday deliveries, I'm also providing an extra special bonus thing at the end of the stream that'll be worth your wait. Meanwhile, now we're going to do the savings throws against the mind control, and you're swimming in it, don't you know? Here you get to pick survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw against the mind control. I roll the die. If it's over 10, you take half damage. And the thing about Touchbase Thursday, touching base, that is how you heal from the damage. It's a bonus, so we're doing that today. But you'll be taking half damage if you make the savings throw. If the die comes up under 10, you take full damage. But don't forget, we're healing today. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Ooh, pairing up today. We got a pair. Survivalist with an 11 number of transformation. Socialist. Oh boy, it's going to get you. You're taking full damage unless you bonus up hard. That's a deuce. for the socialists, lovers of wisdom, coming in strong with the pair of nines of 18. 18 hard folks twinning it up with survival to make it. That's the number of transformation of them. And oh look, you get to see Beholder today because you Indigo kids are taking full damage. That's a natural one. Bonuses don't apply. Oh, you poor guys. You poor guys.
Here they come. Never know, I'll never die. I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Oh, Cassandra. Full damage. That's so sad. Now, runner-up for the special gift bonus surprise at the end of the stream was this picture of Kale Zeldin hanging out with Mr. Toomus, whatever that means. There you go. There's a bonus picture of Kale. This was runner-up there for the special make it worthwhile at the end of the stream thing. This is not that, but still very nice and lovely. All right, now we're going to do a stream on Touchbase Thursday. Yeah. And that means that people are waiting around for this. I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head. Shake it up is all that we know. Using the bodies up as we go. I'm waking up to fantasies. The shades all around aren't the colors we used to see. Broken ice still melts in the sun, and times that are broken can often be won again. We're so alone, and so really matter to me. Take a look around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head. Hi there. Do you fail too many savings throws? Well, in case you didn't know, you can get a +5 to the next stream savings throws by entering a comment in today's stream once it goes replay. Once it's in replay mode and you leave a comment, you can earn a +5 to savings throws. And if you don't know what to say in the comment, I will provide to you today a question you can answer as I proposed to that X-Sex network on the Elon Musk. If the apple granted the knowledge of good and evil, what knowledge was granted by that pill? And according to Orion C. Lewis, who may or may not be the this-little-corner Ryan Lewis, the pill grants the knowledge of human transmutation. Yada, yada, yada. What do you think? Let us know in the comments for a +5 on next stream save.
How this could be used to allow people to connect and get past the status game. So I'm just gonna play with this right now, which is weird. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. Right? So that would be cool, in my opinion. That would be very cool.
What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodiles? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile?
That's very exciting. Hello. I see the assassins have failed.
All right, welcome to Touchbase Thursday. Touch my base, touch the base. The base could be the hive mind. You could chat in there. That could be a touching base. We could say hello to Clint. Clint showed up over there, and I saw, oh gosh, it's Furry David. And Dustin, Clint, and who else did I see? Oh, yeah, that Ron Copperman guy said hello. All right, now, Plato Tectonics. Let's deliver on that real fast because... whatever. Once upon a time, I talked to a guy, probably the German Dragon. I don't know. But somebody told me, that guy Plato people talk about all the time, he was the first fellow who really said that it was the media that provides the archetypes for the polis, right? I don't know, for the peoples to like form themselves into. It provides them identities to shape themselves into. And so that's been sitting in my mind, floating as the background, and that's what I mean by the Plato tectonics. That whole theory, and all the billions of thousands of years ago it happened, and how it's still undergirding the shifts of what we see in the world around us. Boom, we're touching base. Title and thumbnail delivered. There we go. Now, what happened was I saw a tweet the other day. I could not find and show to you. That I believe was a quote from Bernays about propaganda, but it could have been this Alul fella we're about to refer to. I don't know. It's this quote, and it says the nature of propaganda is to create the identities that people form into. And so that was like the layer on top of the Plato tectonics that's been forming in my mind. And then this guy we know called Paul Renee Nichols, tagged me over on the X tweet with this guy's video. The guy turns out to be a guy who does a show, and he's having a guy on the show. And the guy he's having on the show is a guy I think we've seen talk to Kale already. And he's pitching them Alul the way Mike Sartori gave us all Alul. But here's a piece of that now relevant to the rest of the show. Pudding Pops. What?
To approach this? What do you think is the most relevant place to start?
Probably, maybe just to begin sort of in a sense of framing it. So we tend to look at propaganda as, the common image is you have this, these manipulators behind the scenes, sort of these master, the Goebbels types, right? That are, you have some sort of master manipulator behind the scenes, and he's pulling the strings, and what he's doing is trying to make people believe lies. And what Alul spends several hundred pages doing is disabusing you of that notion that although there are people that do manipulate the messages, Alul wants you to understand that propaganda is a necessary sociological phenomenon of the technological society. So that it arises as part of the technological system in a sense, because in this way, how do you put it, that the technological society as it begins to emerge in the French Revolution and then through the period of industrialization, as industrialization happens and as the technological society develops, one of the side effects is that it begins to break down society, and it begins to create alienation within the society. So people are, the old household way of organizing society is broken down. People have to come into the cities and sell their labor, and they're packed into these cities, and they're rootless. They're in many ways already the process of deracination has begun. And what happens then is that this alienation that people feel between each other, between themselves and their labor, and even between people and themselves, gets resolved in many ways through mass media. And so propaganda becomes the instrument by which you are reconnected to society. So
I listened to him.
Technological.
I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us. I see this guy. I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very, very genuine and honest. He is telling us exactly what he thinks.
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard.
Grift harder, grift harder. Grift harder, grift harder. Grift harder, grift harder.
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP off.
Grift harder, grift harder.
That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. Whoops. And so I have all of this stirring in my mind, right? And this is all floating and stirring and brewing. And then this morning also, coincidentally, serendipitously, thematically, perhaps, the 5 of diamonds is the casino deck card of the show. This was what I saw.
Get elected. Somebody who wants to actually take things back to the local grassroots stuff and have people and actually has people's interests in mind is never going to get elected in this system. Like, it's absolutely impossible. And the way that it works is through mass formation, through mass media. Most of it's technological, and they know all this stuff. They know how it works. You just keep saying things through these media forums, which is why the internet could actually change things if it's not controlled, if it's actually free.
Yeah. Well, I think all of a sudden, the network, everyone's a TV station. Okay, so now,
Hail Hydra.
We see the communist revolution has happened, and we have this rare pinnacle moment where we have the means of production, and what concerns me is going to be the blue church card of the show. Oh, we have a jumper. What is it? The 5 of clubs is the blue church jumper card of the show. You see, so they pull us away from our family and all that, and then the social media, the media presents the archetypal personalities for us to fill and get this faux sense of identity and community from. But now we are the media, and so there's that. But there's also written on this card that the propaganda forms the identity, and the identity is generally archetypal, and the archetypal identities they could be. If we take from Local Distance, who brought us Beauregard strawberries. The background and intentionality networks, the archetypal, the intentionality networks could be archetypal manifestations. Yes, and what's the difference between the archetypical manifestation and an actual personality? And those are the questions we have as we fiddle with our cards and play with our deck. But the important thing is once they get you industrialized, deracinated, as that feller said, and into this way of the identity formation of the propaganda, that's you. But then the other ones are born into it, and that's why I had this background and first draft written on the card, because that's something. It seems to be the most terribly important formation part of a person, is the first draft of reality they receive. You see, at being born as humans into this planet, we have this problem of nescience. We start off knowing that jack shit, and there's a whole universe full of shit to know. And as such, whatever we experience growing up becomes our first draft, most comfortable mode of operating from. And if that's an abusive and nasty first draft, and if we let propaganda shape that first draft, and if we let them have our kids, and they go from teaching the kids that, like, you got to decide what you want to be in this world, to you got to decide who you let poke you in the who gets to have sex with you is your new like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And that's weird, and depopulatory. Anyway, the agency deck card of the show is the 10 of clubs. And speaking of decks, in case you didn't know, there's this.
Myth makers and visual artists. We are also filmmakers. But now in 2024, we're doing something brand new. With all of our musical releases, we like to do something extra to further immerse our audience in the worlds we build and the stories we tell. With our most recent release of Firebird, we are excited to present to you a brand new deck of playing cards called Juxt. Hey, if you're here for the vinyl, cassettes, merch, and new music, stay tuned. We will get to that in a minute. Back in 2023, we collaborated with renowned visual artist James Flames on our album art for Firebird. And also, mostly in secret, we did something else. You see, when I was a kid, I was fascinated and haunted by the artwork and symbolism found on a deck of playing cards. Now that fascination has blossomed into our latest offering, Dirt Poor Robin's Juxt playing cards. Juxt is a brand new deck of playing cards that plays any standard card game. But what's unique about this deck is contained in the artwork. The images change in symbolically coherent ways to their suit, hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades, and have added dimensions of fire and water. You see, with a simple change to the face cards and the Joker art, we opened up the possibility of modifying existing classic games. Since our face cards have the opposing sides of fire and water, depending on the direction you play the face cards, it can change their meaning and effect. Included with Juxt will be a link to our server where we share new games, modified rules to freshen up existing standard games, and it will also be a place for you to share with other players like yourself games that you've created and unique ways to use this deck. Now, here's the last thing I needed.
No last thing. It's a Kickstarter. It's funded. You can order it now. We're going to get a deck. You see, that's a deck from this guy band, this guy representing the band Dirt Poor Robins, the creative, and all the thing. And they've infiltrated this little corner via one of the pillar archetypes of, not pillar archetypes? I don't know. One of the pillars of this corner, this Jonathan Pajot. And clearly they're doing some weird cultist magic card game. And we're going all up in it. We're going to get ourselves a deck and see what's going on. We're going to get juxtaposed. Howdy, Peter Penrosebach. Welcome. This has been the Touchbase Thursday stream. I don't know how much we have left, though. What?
But he's overcoming something rather than, a true marksman will look at the arrows available and say, if I want to hit the target, I'll pick the best arrow so that I can hit the target. A true marksman might say, all of these arrows are crap. This arrow is at least crappy in a way that I can work with. But he's overcoming something rather than, a true marksman will look at the arrows available and say, if I want to hit the target, I'll pick the best arrow so that I can hit the target. A true marksman might say, all of these arrows are crap. This arrow is at least crappy in a way that I can work with.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
I'm all pumped up, maniacs. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm all pumped up, maniacs. Hulk Hogan here.
Terry Bollea made the name present with unmatched success and global recognition in sports entertainment.
Oh, who gets a +4? Who gets a +4? Lots of them today. That was great. That was great. We get +4 for Slack, +4 Ship, Clint, 2 for Firth, 2 for Dust, 4 for Joe. Okay, yeah, sorry guys. Sorry. All right.
Oh, man. I'm all pumped up, maniacs. Hulk Hogan here.
Terry Bollea.
Oh, man, that was a terrible fumble. You know what fixes fumbles? Donations.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. Anyway, once upon a time, a guy named Stranger Than Fiction, who used to be a more fear-porny channel than he is now, released a video called American Politics is a Complete Joke, and it's referent to what we're talking about today because it enjoys the footage somewhere in here of this here.
Donald Trump stayed true to his word, and about a month and a half after the storyline began, Donald Trump appeared live on Raw. Trump and McMahon opened the show, with Donald sharing his proposal. Trump pitched a one-on-one match at WrestleMania between himself and Vince McMahon. McMahon said no, claiming that after his Hell in a Cell match several months earlier, that his doctor advised him to never compete in the ring again. However, Vince countered and suggested that both
This is where a chief person running for our presidency was schooled in the art of the kayfabe. And the thing we know about kayfabe is that he's a dog, and also it's participatory. And I think there's a difference we have going on where one side acknowledges it and they participate knowing that it's rigged. Right, and then there's the other ones are just participating. They're playing along. They know it's rigged. There's a thing here going on where your acceptance of how to interface with kayfabe, how to participate in kayfabe, whether or not that includes the fact that it's fake and scripted or not, is it play? Is it play? I don't, Like I said, this was the edge of my thinkings stream, me thinking aloud. So the archetype, at least as far as I can tell, that I'm trying to manufacture as a TV station, as part of the mass media propaganda, is that of us as fire ants in coming together in small intentionality networks that will eventually achieve synchronic harmony. Synchronic harmony. Hermione. We're ants in the sea of bullshit, forming small networks that will eventually come online. Now, I don't know. Do you want to be an ant? Is that a shitty archetype to sell people? What the hell else do you have on tap? Nothing. You got the riot. You did that one. You showed the kale. You did that one. That one. Oh yes. Your friend finally got his book out. You're shoving that again. Remember, Embody, you can get Nolan Watson's new book, Through the Fire: A Pilgrimage of Poetry. It's Dante's Inferno related, as I understand it. And finally, right after this, what I promised you would be worth watching the rest of this for, you're gonna love it.
Dum, dum, dum. That all sounds well and good, but really, how do I get there? Okay, you said this whole beautiful thing, and I know many of you, especially out there on the YouTube channel, are going to say, you know, I have problems believing this stuff. Yeah, I get it. The thing is, a lot of people who say I have problems believing this stuff think that the way to answer those problems is by theory. And generally speaking, no. You just don't work that way. You don't ride a bike. You don't learn to ride a bike by theory. You don't learn to swim by theory. You can watch a lot of videos about swimming, but I promise you, you will not learn to swim without getting in water.
Oh, we have a hive mind interruption, special circumstance. You see, as members of the channel, there are certain tiers of membership. Now, there's if you're willing to let yourself be called a neo-dandy low-level tier, and then there's a respectable tier, and then there's the special perk tier. The first special perk tier is that you get to call for savings throws. As far as I know, there's one member at that tier, and it's not McMo. But he did use his special "I've been a member for this long" thing to ask, and so I'm going to allow it. But remember, if you're a high enough tier membership, you can make this happen anytime. Special throws from McMo. Here you go. McMo's throws. Survivalist with a 14. Socialist with a 15. Lovers of Wisdom, Prime 17. Hard folks, still going to need a bonus. That's a 7 for you. And Indigo Kids, you're up to 19. Prime 19 for you, thanks to McMo. And before you go, what was promised and is, I'm sure, eminently worth you watching all of this. All of it.
Star Wars Lego set Death Star.
Do it.
But can you chug a sparkling water and not burp? Oh my gosh. What do I do? Star Wars Lego set Death Star. Oh my gosh. What do I do? Star Wars Lego set Death Star. Can you chug a sparkling water and not burp?